You've probably noticed something strange about truly intelligent people. They don't rush to speak. They don't dominate every conversation. They don't fight to prove they're right. In fact, the smarter someone is, the quieter they often become. At first glance, this seems confusing. Society teaches us that confidence means speaking loudly, asserting opinions, and constantly proving our intelligence. But the reality is very different. The most powerful minds understand something most people never realize. Silence is not weakness. Silence is control. Think about the last time you were in a room full of people. Many were talking nonstop, trying to impress, interrupting each other, filling every second with words. But somewhere in that room, there was always one person who said very little. They observed more than they spoke. And strangely, when that person finally spoke, everyone listened. That is not an accident. Intelligent people stay quiet because they understand something about human nature that most people overlook. Words have power, but only when they are used carefully. When words are constant, they lose their value. But when someone speaks rarely, their words carry weight. Silence creates authority. Imagine a courtroom. When the judge enters, the entire room becomes silent. The judge doesn't shout. The judge doesn't talk endlessly. In fact, the judge often speaks less than anyone else. Yet every word from that person has impact. Why? Because silence creates presence. The same principle exists in everyday life. People who talk constantly often reveal everything about themselves. Their fears, their insecurities, their plans, their weaknesses. But the quiet observer gathers information. They study people. They understand motivations. They notice patterns others miss. And information is power. When you speak less, you learn more. Most people walk into conversations thinking about what they will say next. They wait impatiently for their turn to speak. But intelligent people do something different. They listen deeply. They study tone, body language, hesitation, and emotion. Because what people say is only part of the story. The rest is hidden between the lines. The quiet person hears the things others miss. They notice when confidence is fake. They see when someone is nervous, defensive, or dishonest. They detect subtle shifts in energy that reveal the truth behind the words. This is why intelligent people rarely rush into arguments. They understand that reacting emotionally gives away control. When someone provokes them, they pause. They observe. They analyze. And that pause changes everything. Most arguments escalate because both people want to prove themselves immediately. But silence disrupts the entire dynamic. When one person refuses to react impulsively, the emotional energy disappears. The quiet mind wins by refusing to play the game. Another reason intelligent people stay quiet is because they understand the cost of unnecessary opinions. In today's world, everyone feels the need to comment on everything. Social media encourages constant expression. Every thought becomes a post. Every reaction becomes a statement. But intelligent people know that not every thought deserves to be spoken. Some conversations are simply not worth your energy. Some debates are designed to waste your time. Some people are not searching for truth. They are searching for attention. And when you realize this, something changes inside you. You stop feeling the need to prove yourself. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't truly listen. You stop arguing with people who are not open to change. Instead, you conserve your mental energy for what truly matters. This shift creates a quiet confidence that others can feel. You don't need to dominate conversations because you're not seeking validation. You don't need to win every debate because you understand that real intelligence is not measured by how loudly you speak. It is measured by how clearly you think. Silence also gives intelligent people a powerful advantage: emotional control. When people react instantly, they often say things they regret. Words spoken in anger can destroy relationships, damage reputations, and create problems that last for years. But silence gives you space. Space to think. Space to evaluate. Space to respond instead of react. And that difference is enormous. Reaction is impulsive. Response is intelligent. The quiet person is not silent because they lack confidence. They are silent because they choose their moments carefully. They understand timing. When the moment is right, they speak with clarity and precision. Their words are not rushed. They are deliberate, focused, powerful. And because they rarely speak without purpose, people naturally listen. There is another deeper reason intelligent people become quieter as they grow. The more you learn about the world, the more you realize how much you still don't know. This realization creates humility. People who know very little often feel extremely confident. They believe they understand everything. They speak loudly about topics they have barely studied. But intelligent people recognize complexity. They see the layers beneath simple answers. They understand that every issue has multiple perspectives, hidden factors, and deeper truths. And this awareness naturally makes them more thoughtful before speaking. They don't rush to conclusions. They ask questions. They explore ideas. They consider possibilities. Because real intelligence is not about appearing smart. It's about pursuing truth. Another powerful reason intelligent people stay quiet is that silence allows them to control their image. When you speak constantly, people can easily label you. They categorize your beliefs, your weaknesses, and your habits. But when you speak less, you become harder to predict. People pay closer attention. They become curious about what you think. And curiosity creates influence. This is why some of the most respected leaders in history were not the loudest voices in the room. They were calm, measured, and thoughtful. Their silence made their words more powerful. But perhaps the most important lesson behind silence is this: peace. When you stop reacting to every comment, every opinion, and every criticism, life becomes quieter inside your mind. You stop carrying unnecessary stress. You stop absorbing negativity. You stop allowing other people's emotions to control your state of mind. Instead, you become stable, grounded, focused. This kind of mental stability is incredibly rare in a world full of noise. And people feel it immediately. They sense that you are not easily shaken. They recognize that you don't chase attention. They understand that you think before you act. And without trying to impress anyone, you begin to earn something far more valuable than approval. You earn respect. Respect does not come from speaking the most. It comes from speaking with intention. It comes from listening more than reacting. It comes from thinking deeply before responding. And most importantly, it comes from mastering yourself. Because the ultimate sign of intelligence is not how much you know. It is how well you control your mind. So the next time you feel the urge to jump into every conversation, every argument, every debate, pause for a moment. Ask yourself a simple question. Is speaking right now truly necessary? Or is silence the stronger move? Sometimes the most intelligent response is not another opinion. Sometimes the most powerful response is quiet observation. Because when you master silence, you gain something most people never achieve: clarity. And with clarity comes confidence, discipline, and a calm strength that no one can easily shake. The world is full of noise, opinions, and endless talking. But the people who truly understand life learn a different skill. They learn when to speak. And more importantly, they learn when to stay quiet. If this message resonated with you, remember that mastering your mind is a journey. Every day is an opportunity to think deeper, act wiser, and grow stronger from within. And if you want to continue developing the habits, mindset, and discipline that shape powerful minds, make sure you stay connected with the Motivational Audiobook Spot, where every lesson is designed to help you build a stronger, calmer, and more intelligent version of yourself. But there is an even deeper layer to this idea of silence that most people never discover. Staying quiet is not just about observing others. It is about mastering yourself. Most people believe intelligence is about knowledge, how many facts you know, how quickly you can answer questions, how impressive you sound in conversations. But true intelligence is much more subtle than that. It shows itself in discipline, patience, and the ability to control your impulses. And one of the hardest impulses to control is the urge to speak. When someone challenges your opinion, the instinct is to defend yourself immediately. When someone criticizes you, the instinct is to react. When someone misunderstands you, the instinct is to explain everything right away. But intelligent people understand a powerful truth. Not every reaction deserves your energy. Every time you react emotionally, you give someone else control over your state of mind. You allow their words to determine your mood, your focus, and sometimes even your decisions. But when you stay quiet, you keep your power. Silence creates distance between stimulus and response. And in that small moment of distance lies one of the greatest advantages a person can develop: the ability to choose. You choose whether something deserves your attention. You choose whether a conversation deserves your time. You choose whether a problem deserves your emotional energy. And when you start making those choices consciously, your entire life begins to change. Think about the people who constantly argue online, who respond to every negative comment, who feel the need to explain themselves to everyone. Their minds are always busy, always reactive, always exhausted. Now think about the calm individuals who seem unaffected by chaos around them. They are not calm because life is easier for them. They are calm because they have learned the discipline of selective attention. They focus on what matters and ignore what doesn't. And silence helps them maintain that focus. Another reason intelligent people stay quiet is because they understand the value of mystery. When people know everything about you, they stop being curious about you. But when you reveal your thoughts slowly and intentionally, people pay closer attention. Mystery creates intrigue. When you speak less, people start to wonder what you are thinking. They become more interested in your perspective because it is not constantly available. And this subtle dynamic changes how others treat you. Instead of interrupting you, they listen. Instead of ignoring your words, they consider them carefully. Because rarity increases value. This principle applies everywhere in life. If something is available all the time, people stop appreciating it. But if something appears only at the right moment, its impact becomes stronger. Words work the same way. This is why intelligent people speak with intention. They do not talk just to fill silence. They talk when their words add clarity, direction, or insight. And when they do speak, their words often shift the entire conversation. But silence also protects your long-term growth. When you spend less time talking and more time thinking, something powerful begins to happen inside your mind. Your thoughts become deeper. Your understanding becomes clearer. You begin connecting ideas that others overlook. You start noticing patterns in behavior, opportunities in situations, and lessons in experiences. This is because thinking requires space, and silence creates that space. The modern world rarely gives people time to think deeply. Notifications, conversations, media, and endless information keep the mind constantly distracted. But intelligent people protect moments of quiet. They take time to reflect on their actions, analyze their mistakes, and plan their future. While others are reacting to the noise of the world, they are quietly improving themselves. And over time, that quiet improvement becomes visible. Years later, people often look at successful individuals and assume their achievements happened suddenly. But what they don't see are the thousands of quiet moments behind those achievements. The hours spent learning, thinking, observing, and refining ideas. Growth often happens silently. Progress often happens quietly. And the people who understand this are rarely in a rush to announce their plans. They focus on building results first, because results speak louder than explanations. There is also a powerful emotional benefit to staying quiet. Peace. When you stop trying to win every argument and stop reacting to every opinion, your mind becomes lighter. You stop carrying unnecessary tension. You stop replaying conversations in your head. You stop worrying about what everyone thinks about you. Instead, you begin focusing on what truly matters, your values, your goals, and your growth. This shift changes the quality of your life. Your confidence becomes internal rather than dependent on external approval. Your decisions become clearer because they are based on reflection rather than pressure. And your relationships improve because you listen more deeply. People feel respected when they are heard. Most individuals rarely experience genuine listening because conversations often turn into competitions of who can talk more. But when you listen with patience and curiosity, you create a different kind of connection. You understand people better. And understanding people is one of the most valuable skills in life. Because whether in business, leadership, friendships, or personal development, success often depends on how well you understand human behavior. Silence strengthens that ability. It trains you to notice what others ignore. It trains you to observe before reacting. It trains you to think before speaking. And over time, that discipline becomes part of your character. You become someone who is calm under pressure, thoughtful in conversations, and deliberate in decisions. That kind of presence is powerful. People trust individuals who are emotionally stable. They respect individuals who think carefully. They follow individuals who speak with clarity rather than noise. And all of that begins with a simple habit: learning to pause, learning to observe, learning to stay quiet when silence is the stronger choice. Because silence is not emptiness. Silence is awareness. Silence is control. Silence is strength. The more you practice it, the more you begin to notice something remarkable. Your mind becomes sharper. Your emotions become steadier. Your words become more impactful. And gradually, You transform into the kind of person whose presence commands attention without demanding it. So from this moment forward, challenge yourself with a simple discipline. Speak less, listen more, think deeper, observe carefully, and use your words with purpose. Because when you master silence, you unlock a level of intelligence and self-control that most people never reach. If you found value in this lesson, take the next step in your personal growth journey. Subscribe, stay connected, and continue strengthening your mindset with the motivational audiobook spot. And remember, don't just listen to these ideas. Apply them, practice them, live them. Start mastering your mind today, and keep moving forward with the motivational audiobook spot, where every lesson is designed to help you think stronger, act wiser, and build the powerful life you truly deserve.